What's good, YouTube? I'm Nikki.
And I'm Myron.
And we are the Stevensons. So today's video, we'll be filming a mukbang.
And today we'll be answering 8 questions related to marriage and what it's like to be married at such a young age and such.
Most of the questions were kind of repetitive, so we just gave y'all, like he said, the top 8. So before we get into that video, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any other videos that we post. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. We need a thumbnail.
Okay.
Pick up a chicken. Thumbnail.
No, not that. That's what's up.
1, 2. You really gotta bite it, but okay. The first question someone asked is, why did we move out of California?
Well, in my perspective on why we left California, it's because it's incredibly expensive to live there, and the ends just don't justify the means. I don't want to be that guy, but you know what I'm saying, I don't like the idea of working to just pay bills, you know what I'm saying, working to just pay rent and stuff like that. There's more to life than that, you know, and I feel like it's quality over life instead of quantity, if that makes any sense. But yeah, you know, that and the fact that, you know, that's where we're born and raised. I was ready to see something different. She was had already experienced something different. So yeah, I felt like, you know, that was necessary for the next chapter. What about you? What do you think?
Well, it's not about what I think, it's about what actually really happened. Right. So of course, like you said, it started to become a little bit expensive in California. The price of living in California is so high. It is almost like, I can't even say, like, dehumanizing.
Say that one time?
Dehumanizing. Like, as far as, like, things that people have to, like, the things you have to do to make the money, to pay your rent, pay your bills, make sure that you know, have a living to make, you know. Yeah. I just feel like it was too much, for one. And then
flats.
The apartment that I was staying in Inglewood, I guess you could say the lease for me was up.
Okay.
You know, my time in the program that I was in was pretty much over with. So although we were in the middle of a pandemic, they can't legally kick me out. I honestly didn't want to stay there longer than what I had to. So the fact that we had just recently went through a traumatic experience before having to move, that it kind of pushed me to, you know, to just go ahead and make that move, because everything about that room, that apartment was just so, at that point it was just so like heavy. Like, coming back to the room after everything had happened was really, it made me depressed, and I didn't like it. I wanted to, like he said, see something different, actually experience being on our own, like for real, out in a whole another state, out of our comfort zone, away from, you know, family. Well, not really that far, but further away to where we are actually being adults or adulting, as people may say. But, still being able to be close enough to where if anything happened, God forbid, that we weren't far enough. I mean, we weren't far enough away to where we couldn't get there fast enough. Or they couldn't get to us,
Right.
So, that's what sparked that move. The price of living and my lease in the program basically being up. So that was that.
So our next question is, would we ever move back to California? I want to be funny and say when hell freezes over, but in reality, once we got that proper bag, I wouldn't say anything's out the question. I wouldn't consider. I mean, I would consider moving back if, number one, the land is looking worth it. The quality of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want to buy a house in Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? I got homeless people up and down my street type stuff.
Right.
You're paying over $1 million, if not more, for this luxurious, nice house. And you should damn sure feel good about it. But they kind of have that outside. It's like, come on, man. And it's not their fault. I don't really think it's their fault.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just I don't want. It's like sitting in a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting here eating this food, and the person sitting directly on the other side of that pane, the other side of that window glass, is watching you eat.
Watching you eat, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like that's kind of disrespectful. And if I'm not in a position to do much more than just help myself, it's kind of
it's like degrading in a sense.
Yeah, to that person.
Right.
It's fucked up for me, consciously. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta live with myself. I gotta look at myself in the mirror. Like, I should be able to do something more. But on the outside looking in, that may be the case. But from the inside looking out, I'm barely making ends meet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just, yeah.
You just wear it well.
Mm-hmm.
See, me, I don't want to move back. I think my next state would be somewhere further. The only thing keeping me this close to California is my father at this point. That is really like the only reason keeping me near California. If that was the case, we would have been in Alaska somewhere, Switzerland or something like that. We would have been far. But my father was keeping me close, and so he, works up the courage or stops being so hard headed and just move in with us. But yeah, honestly, I just feel like because it's a difference being a teenager and being raised in California versus actually living out there as an adult. Because when you're a teenager or a child or whatever the case may be, you think that you've seen all of LA and we've traveled from here, Long Beach and all of that stuff, having fun, just being teenagers. But then it's like there's a whole different world as an adult in California. It's not just the beach. It's not just the kickbacks and the hotels and stuff. There's actually a life in California. I just don't think that at this point I'm able to afford that lifestyle. So when I'm able to afford that lifestyle, then I'll feel more comfortable moving back to my home state. But at this point, I'd rather move farther away, see a little bit more of the world, and not just California, not just Miami or Atlanta like everybody else. I want to move to a different continent, like, I want to see the world before settling down in one place. Like, that's just how I feel at this point.
We're here. Shit. I'm with that. Fuck.
So our next question is it hard being married so young or married at a young age? The answer is no. But then again, I'm only speaking from a personal, but that's the question, is asking from a personal perspective. But I just feel like in each situation, in each relationship, it's different. So what somebody else may deem difficult, I look at it as a opportunity to work through or mature, So I feel like there is a certain difficulty with the, like the aesthetics of the situation, like how people look at our situation or our relationship and us being so young. Yes, we had a lot of people telling us, it's not too late to say no. You guys can always say no.
Hating that bullshit.
Like, it's, for one, you should be encouraging the longevity of a relationship, not just the hanky panky. I'm speaking like an old person, but you shouldn't be like you. I think we should encourage more, you know, marriages. Maybe not as young as us, but what's the right age to get married? You're too young is maybe our too old. Like, I'm wasting time at this point. I knew I wanted to be with him. He knew he wanted to be with me. If it was anything different, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't even got this far. Like,
that's fair.
So I don't feel like it's hard. I just feel like it is a maturing. It's a maturing. What's the word?
Experience.
Yes, it is a very maturing experience. It shows that you have to grow up. It's not just going to the club and cooking dinner all the time. It's not just cooking dinner and cleaning up that we have to worry about. It's way more to being, married than, just that piece of paper and these rings that we have on our finger.
My advice to anybody, that calls yourself young and trying to get married or engaging in a serious relationship, make sure you are
I'll speak louder. You gotta speak a little louder.
Make sure you are in a understanding mental state. Not everybody thinks the same way, not everybody operates the same way, and it's very important not to try to put everything in a box. No one relationship is a perfect model for the next. No one relationship is going to be like the next. You have some goofy people, some serious people. Moral of the story: know yourself first. Know yourself first, so you're also able to understand that person, not just understand that person so they can understand you. You have to know yourself. It's a two-way street. It's not just pertaining to them. It pertains to just you. People like to talk about self-love, but don't like to talk about self-understanding. You know what I'm saying? You can't love yourself if you don't understand yourself.
What do you want out of life?
Right.
What are your dreams? What are your goals?
Does this person meet that criteria? If not, I think that you should hang it up. Y'all can be friends. Y'all can, if you're able to be mature about the situation, I think that would be, very healthy and whatnot. But some people just are incapable of that platonic relationship. I myself am that way too. If we were to, separate and get divorced or whatever, God forbid, I wouldn't be able to be her friend. I wouldn't be able to show up to the cookout, and see her with her new boo, whatever, or, without flipping the fuck out or causing a scene, the motherfucker hauling drunk ass Myron away, it's just not happening, So, again, know yourself, so you, moving forward, everything is all good. Because the last thing you would want is to play ignorant, play blind, play oblivious to your emotions and to the way you really feel, for the sake of, for us dudes, quote unquote, keeping it player, for y'all women, keeping that pride, on your shoulders. Keeping that pride on your shoulders like some goddamn, football gear. it just takes a lot. It takes a lot of understanding. That's majority of that, and the rest of it is communication. Because without that, then you know what I'm saying, you're dead in the water. You know.
That kind of goes into the next question that we have, which is, what is some advice that you have for young people who are married, or young couples looking to get married? That's kind of what these two questions kind of correlate, which is why I said that, we picked the ones that kind of went together and that were repetitive. So, like he said, some advice that we have is get to know yourself. Get to love yourself first. Figure out who you are, what you like, what are your, like I said, what are your dreams, what are your goals, what do you aspire to be and have in life? Do you have a plan? Have you figured out what that plan look like? Is it obtainable in a reasonable amount of time? What is a reasonable amount of time for you? How much time do you need to obtain this goal? Do you have, take a look at yourself, your life, and what you have and do not have. Try to get all of that in order, and then at that point, find somebody that is either equally as goal oriented or someone equally as goal oriented or
driven in life.
That wants some of the same things as you. We have, although it may not seem like it, we have a lot in common. I am like I am the extrovert of our marriage. He is an introvert, like severe introvert. Like when I tell you, he can sit in the corner by himself and be perfectly happy. Not to make him feel like he was crazy or anything, but he can sit in the corner.
A little bit of that too.
And be happy with just being by himself.
God damn.
This sprayed me. We had some technical difficulties.
Damn. This motherfucker exploded on me, boy.
But like I was saying, before his soda exploded on him.
How in the world did it happen? I don't know.
But
y'all saw I was sitting there by itself.
I am the extrovert of our marriage. And I bring him out of his shell in many in many situations. I don't know. I feel like we are balanced. We are well balanced, So I feel like that's why we work so well. Huh?
Bust the slob.
Anyway. So yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, I feel like we're well balanced. That's why we work so well. We have to be able to communicate. And although I'm sometimes stubborn and vice versa, he's a Libra, so he's very stubborn. Very headstrong. Like, it's either his way or the highway. Until his way goes wrong and it's like, I should have listened to you. Same with me. I'm a Gemini. But yeah, we communicate. Our communication is getting better because I have an issue with communicating when I am upset or, angry, whatever. I tend to shut down. I don't want to speak. I don't want to say anything. I don't even want to bring up the situation, so I'm ready to talk about it. He's a poker and a prodder. He's going to get it out of me. I don't like that sometimes, but I feel like that's where majority of our issues come from because I don't like talking or expressing my feelings, and neither does he. So But because we do have that level of understanding, and when we are ready to talk about what needs to be talked about, we'll do that at that point. Oh Lord.
So our next question is, who said I love you first? And it damn sure wasn't me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm lying.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing to them. You're lying.
I'm lying through my teeth. Yeah, that was a big old simp. Still am. I was a hopeless romantic, actually. That's what I am.
Why so hopeless?
Why so hopeless?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's no way in the world that you could ever love me back as much as I love you.
Cut the cap.
And that's how you do it. That's how you butter them up.
Choking on your own eyes. Cut the cap. But yeah, he said I love you first. And it shocked the hell out of me. Because I didn't know whether to say I love you too or aw. But like, not even joking. Because when we first got back together after our break,
nice 3-year break.
You do not have to reiterate that like that. 3 year. Anyway,
I'm a man of principle. I'm playing.
So after our break, I was just like, at first I thought he was joking with me. Like, you know, when he told me, our conversation was like, I called him on his birthday, 2013. I called him on his birthday. Or I called my best friend, or our friend, our mutual friend, on his birthday and told him, like, tell Myron I said happy birthday. Every year, and I'm like, nah, I'm just playing. So I guess this year he was like, all right, bitch, I'm tired of you playing. Like, you know, he said, I'll call you back. And I said, you better call me back, too. And my phone rang. A number I did not recognize because I had a new number. I had moved and everything. So I had a whole new number. And my phone rang. And it was him, Myron. And, like, when we talked, I was just like, you know, how you been? You know, we talked, all of that. And then we spoke 2 days in a row. That second day, no lie, that second day, we were getting off the phone. And he was like, all right, I love you. I was like, huh? Like, in my head, I'm like, wait, did this man just...
It's getting hot.
I'm like, did he just say, I love you? Like, so yes, Myron, Mr. Stevenson, said that he loved me first.
Sure did. And that's how the carrot crumbles.
Oh my God. The next question is, when did you meet each other's family? And what were your first impressions of them?
That's a fun one.
100% honesty.
Them atomic wings got my lips numb.
That's the point.
That's crazy.
That's why I don't eat them. I don't like them.
To imagine something hotter than that, folks.
The ghost pepper. Fuck. Carolina Reaper.
I don't think you would have fucking lips after that. After they shove it up, like, shove it up orange rinds, you know what I'm saying?
Get out.
The water, Sandy.
Damn. Ooh, whoa, yo. Okay. My first impression, when did I meet his family? Okay, so this is a very awkward story of how I met. So I met his family in like, I met his family in like sections. I don't even know if that, you know, made sense. But okay, so I met his mom.
You met everybody important all at once.
Not really. I met your mom first. I met his mother first. His mom dropped him off at my house.
Oh yeah,
We were having. I think it was like a barbecue or something to raise money for my mom's funeral, or raise the rest of the money for my mom's funeral. And he came to the house to see me, and he came to my house to see me. His mom dropped him. So that was my first time meeting his mom. I was so terrified. I was like, he said, I want you to meet my mom, or come to the car. I want you to meet my mom. I said, yo,
come to the car. My mom's gonna holler at you real quick, shawty.
I was like, yo, who? He said, my mom. I was like, when I tell you, I almost shit bricks. Like, and I'm not a bad person. I'm not a mean person. I'm not no fast ass little girl to be worried about, or for
gotta hold him a little,
or for his mother to be worried about. But I don't know what it is about me and meeting someone's parents. It's like, it's so intimidating, especially the mom. Like, especially the mom. So my first impression of her was, she was too sweet for her own good. She was just, I don't know, like, and she's always been like that. Like, yeah, you know, as a mother of a son, you are always overprotective of your baby, and he is her firstborn, so she's very overprotective of him, mama bear mode, and I totally get it. She was so sweet, like, so sweet. I never met his grandmothers in person, but I've spoken to, I believe, one of them over the phone. I was calling him, and I'm pretty sure she was guarding the phone, because
calling her and I was just borrowing.
So I called to speak to him, and I spoke. You know, she answered the phone and was like, "Who are you?" I was like, "My name is Dominique," and she was like, "Who you want to speak to?" And I said, "Myron." And when she said, first of all, I didn't know he was a junior. I never knew he was a junior. When she said,
you guys know I'm a junior.
When she said big or little, I was so lost.
Is this a trick question?
I was so lost. I was like, little? Like, I was so confused.
You didn't tell me there'd be a pop quiz.
A survey. Shit, I didn't know. I didn't know how to answer questions, but no, I really did not know he was a junior. So now you guys know, and at that point I knew. So I was like, little, and she asked me, like, you know, what do you want with my grandson? That question is very intimidating as well. Like, what do you want with my grandson? I said, we're friends.
We can go down by the Settle.
I said, we're friends. We go to school together. She said, I'm just joking, baby. Hold on. Then she gave him the phone. So, technically, I met his grandmother first, and then I met his mom. And then I met his siblings when I went over to his house. His little sister was, when I tell you, like, she did what a sister was supposed to do. Let me say it like that. She did what she was supposed to. She did her job. But it was so cute. Like, it was so adorable. He hated it, but it was so adorable. Like, you know, she did not want to leave him alone because Myron got a girl over the house. Myron got a girl over there. Like, that was so fascinating to them. Like, the fact that he actually had a girl in the house. Not saying that he's, like, this lame that didn't get girls, but the fact that somebody's actually at this point... Shut up. The fact that somebody's actually at this point in his house with him, hanging out with him, and, you know, like, it was like, whoa.
This is new.
And then everybody else came along, and my impressions of everybody as a whole, my impression of the family is, and this is my very honest opinion, I hope no one gets or takes it the wrong way, but I just feel like there are certain people that are a part of his family that I just can't get with, and there are people that I hold close and dear to me. They know who they are, and they know why I call them my family. You know, why I cling so tight to them, you know. I'll call them before I call my own. My blood relatives, I'll call his family, which is now my family because I'm married to him. I'll call them and cling to them hard. Like, yeah.
Family full of shooters.
They go hard for me. Let me just say it like that. At this point now, yes, they go hard for me. I will still be accepted into the family.
Yeah, just know if you try to leave me, we revoking that card. Like, go ahead, run that back. Run that back, Turbo. You laughing? I'm serious.
Answer the question. When did you meet my family and what was your first impression to them?
Well, I got the memory of an 85-year-old, so I ain't gonna tell you when I met him. I'm gonna just tell you my
Cut
impression.
the cap.
I would just tell you what I thought of him when I met him.
I got a family full of women, mind you.
Oh, it ain't no simp ass shit like that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just
I mean, yeah, you got
giving them perspective.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got some very beautiful women in your family, but I'm like, no, I ain't no simp ass shit like that.
There's more guys on his side of the family than there are on mine. I have 5 biological boys on my side of the family.
Yeah, we got the whole Congress. I think that, and this ain't to hurt nobody's feelings, but I think that y'all try too hard. I think that, what you're trying to be is not necessarily right. The things that you have done, I don't condone nor agree with. I don't have any empathy nor sympathy in my heart for it. So believe you me, if it's ever if it's ever shown, directed this way, you already know how that's gonna go. That's in one way. It's in one way. It's in like these chickens. You know what I'm saying? Ate the fuck up. Alright. Good talk. But outside of that, I think that, there's some potential to be some very solid and well-rounded individuals once they let go of such worldly ambitions. For some it's being cute, and all that other stuff, and being involved in drama, and just it's just ridiculous. I feel like there's so much more you could be for yourself and to each other, than that, and etc. But yeah, I didn't like it. I felt like it was fake, and to this day, I still feel that way. That's why I'm so reserved and isolated. You know what I'm saying? She goes to the function, they say, "Where's mine?" Why?
I mean, and I can't. If I disagree with anything that he was saying, or if I felt like anything he was saying was out of pocket, out of line, or false, I would touch on it. But we're adults. I'm not gonna air out dirty laundry and shit like that. But as far as like my side, my point, or how I feel, I'm gonna let that out. And because he has been here for majority of it, he's been around for a lot of it. But no, I don't explain my situation to nobody, because of a lot that has happened in my life. So
shit, understanding.
Huh?
I said shit, just poor understanding.
Yeah. So because of a lot that has gone on in my life since, coming into the world, I just feel like a lot of things I don't like talking about at this point. But because he has been around for a lot of stuff, there is no hiding anything. I can't hide, and I shouldn't hide anything from my husband. But there's a lot of things that he's been around for. So there is no hiding it. You know, you've actually seen and you've actually witnessed half this shit. You know, you've been there for a lot of it. So
I was gonna say, what's the purpose? Like, what's the benefit there in hiding it, like keeping it to yourself?
well, it's really, there is no benefit. The benefit will be really for them, you know, protecting them. But at this point, who's protecting me? If I'm working so hard to protect you, I got corn in my teeth. But if I'm working so hard or trying so hard to protect you, what about me? Who's protecting me and my feelings? You know, nobody asked me at any point in any situation that I've disclosed to my family, how you feel, you know, how are you doing at this point, you know, like just anything. That's why I said I cling so hard to his family because I get phone calls from his mom, his sisters, his brothers ask about me. You know, they may not speak directly to me, but they'll ask about me, which is that does more for me than actually speaking directly to you. I'm on your mind. You know, you're thinking about me. You want to know that I'm okay. You know, so the fact that I have that from his side of the family, it makes me feel like, okay, somebody does give a fuck. You know, although I know he does, somebody does care. You know, I don't have half of that. You know, from my family. I'm the one calling. You know, reaching out, making sure, you know, this and that is going okay or whatever case. I'm done with that. I've been done, and I'm going to continue to be done. I feel like at this point it is about protecting my energy, making sure that me and my husband relationship is solid, because if I'm trying so hard to be so close or stay close to my family and that they're not doing the same, I feel like I am pushing away from my husband at that point.
And I think it's very important that I think perspective is always important. I don't think that you should, you know, word it like the fact that they're not doing the same. Some people aren't able, you know. It's the fact that they ain't trying. That's my issue. You know, the fact that you ain't doing it, you aren't doing it, or however you want to say it, whatever, doesn't matter. Because everybody has a, you know, certain situation or circumstances. But the fact that you ain't even trying is like, that says more about the situation than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because you can try to get your ass down to the club. You will try to go down to the plug. You will try, you know what I'm saying, to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
But when it comes down to, you know, in their circumstances, it's like motherfuckers scattered like roaches when the lights come on in the kitchen. Man. And
it only bothers me because, you know, this is not nothing brand new or nothing that has just started to happen. This has been happening. And I'm only, at this point, getting more in depth with it because it's coming to a point where, you know, you see who people actually care for. Mm-hmm. You know, who they actually will go hard for.
Yeah, the favoritism.
Exactly. And I'm not looking to be nobody's number one, nobody's favorite, but at least, well, I can't say that either. Well, what I was going to say was, I'm just looking for the same respect. I don't want the exact same respect that you give that person, because you might disrespect them in private. I don't want that respect. I just want you to actually care. But
you want what's owed to you.
Nobody owes me nothing, love.
Respect?
But I'm saying, like, as far, at that point, not even that, you know? Just leave me alone.
Okay.
You know, if that's really what I have to demand, like, if I have to, well, I know I'm going to demand my respect. You're going to give me my respect. But if I have to keep reminding you, nah, just leave me alone at that point. Because I'm not going to remind you how I should be treated. I'm not here to teach you how to treat me. You should see that I'm not going to accept nothing less than what the fuck I'm giving out. You know, I'm matching energies all 2021. That's just, like I said on my post, new hair, new energy. This is a new color, as you guys can't see. I'm so serious. New hair, new energy. I have to get used to this bayang. I'm gonna get used to it eventually. I'm gonna get used to it eventually. But right now, It has to grow on me. I haven't had a bang in I don't know how long. I haven't had a fringe in years. So, and my hair has not been this bright ever. But I'm matching energies, and I'm an empath. So if I'm picking up on negative energy, I'm not going to give that back. But what I will do is leave you alone until you can correct that shit. Or until I feel like, I'm there enough to actually don't stop laughing.
I'm not gonna stop. You making me want to laugh. Like,
or until you're there, you're on that same level as me. You'll never be right here, but you might be, worthy of a little conversation.
That's kind of arrogant.
I'm sorry, but I'm serious though. I'm not trying to sound like that, but I'm trying to be 100% honest. Like, some people really just aren't worth. I'm not gonna entertain that with a response or a conversation. I don't feel like at this point you are. Let me just say it like this: my energy is way more important than your comfortability. Should I say it like that?
I can go with that.
My energy, protecting my own energy, my positive energy, is way more important than making you feel comfortable. Because that means I'm making myself feel uncomfortable. I'm coming out of my comfort zone to make sure that you're comfortable.
Yeah, you should never have to disrespect yourself to respect somebody else.
Which is why I leave people alone, and and I'm very happy. My relationship with my husband has been 100% better. The only issues that we do have is our own issues, which are minor. Like, again, it's just because we're both two headstrong people that don't want to, I kind of want to do it my way, but my way might be better. But it's that. I'm happy where I'm at. The thing that I like, I didn't answer that. The thing that I like or admire about Myron is, for one, he pushes me. He doesn't allow me to give up. I have a lot of self-doubt, when it comes to anything that I do. I started my last business almost 3 weeks ago. And when I started to think, like, I'm going to have to give away free sets. I'm not going to make no money. This is a waste of time. I shouldn't have did it. Although, I'm not going to say he's not 100% on board, because he's supportive of whatever I do. It's more so like, okay, well, you didn't start it for no reason. Like, I'm going to have to do something or sacrifice something to get where I want to go. You're not going to get noticed or publicity off of, overnight. This is not going to come like, it's not like clockwork. Like, you don't do one thing and then everything is just going to come up. Like, that's not how that works. You have to at least work, get your name out there. I knew that, but it's like, damn, do I really want to wait this freaking long just to get noticed? Like,
I wouldn't say you would want to wait. You should look at it as waiting. I would say, some things require a little effort, like with a regular job. You know what I'm saying? That first check, as they say, go on the hole. Why that's the case, I don't know. But, it does. And people are okay with it. People work those first 2 weeks and be like, all right, I make it to the second half of the month. I'll be all right.
Right.
Just let me make it to the first. I'll be all right. So you got to have that same kind of business mindset or business attitude when it comes to you. Just because it's you don't make it no greater or lesser, no greater nor less than, say, Amazon, UPS, McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? You have to value it yourself. You have to make others value it yourself. You can't get caught up in minimizing your dream, minimizing yourself, because it doesn't work that way. If that's the case, none of the people or none of the corporations that I just named would be what they are today if they didn't see what they could be.
Because most of them started at the garage.
Right.
Which is so crazy.
Look at Bill Gates. You know, he did actually start out of his garage or basement, and then Jeff Bezos, his family, his parents, they gave him, I think, $200,000 to $300,000 to save his business. You know, so you gotta, it's just resources.
And he's about to retire or resign, something like that.
Yeah, they gave him $200,000 to $300,000, and then got some like a percentage of ownership in the company or something like that. Like it wasn't for nothing, but still, you know what I'm saying? He knew what he was going to be. He knew what that company could do. You
Right.
know? And it just took him to, in that business pitch, to, you know, make it happen. But that business pitch is that motivation pitch to yourself in the mirror in the morning, when you wake up, when you're brushing your teeth, so on and so forth. I should not have touched my eye. God damn.
But he makes me better. I didn't finish my answer.
Yeah.
But watery mouth. Get together. But he makes me better. He does a lot for me. Not even talking about materialistic wise, but he is. I don't know. I feel like it was always him. Let me say it like that. I just feel like it was always him. You know, he's very charismatic. You know,
You think so?
I do.
I feel like I'm like a clumsy bull in a china shop. I'm not even an angry bull. Just like a clumsy one, like Ferdinand or something.
He's very charismatic. You know, his heart is very big. I love how he loves me. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. I don't know, again, he makes me better, you know, at days or at times where I don't think I'm good enough, or just bullshit. You know, I'm not pretty, I'm not anything, I'm not, you know, maybe he, you know, needs somebody else or whatever the case may be. He reassures me that, you know, there is nobody else. Although I still feel that, you know. But he reassures me. He's just everything that I've ever wanted or dreamed of. I don't know, corny shit. Like, seriously. You know, the days that growing up, I didn't have a lot of love. So, I didn't know how to accept the fact that somebody actually wanted to love me. Yeah, so the fact that he actually did love me unapologetically, goodness gracious, I couldn't get that word out, unapologetically and genuinely, it did it for me. So I admire that about him.
And that's all, folks. Tune in next time for the Stevensons' next episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
But we hope you enjoyed this video. Like he said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you in our next video.